Hey y'all, how you doing today? Hopefully you're having a good day. Having another good day, taking another end of day walk, getting a few steps in, thinking about next steps for teachers. And today actually talking about next steps for teachers, thinking about how do we give feedback to teachers when we do see their classrooms, when we do see them kind of conducting a classroom, conducting a lesson, kind of teaching students, looking at those pieces. And I want to talk specifically about a situation I had today. I was working with a teacher. This teacher's been teaching for over 20 years. Working in a district, in the same district for those 20 years, actually 20 plus years. And very experienced teacher, really knows what she was talking about, really knew the math, and having some good conversations with the teacher. But she was really actually upset, to be honest with you. She was upset because a couple days before, the principal and a few different people on the leadership team had done a learning walk and had kind of walked through and had done an observation. And it wasn't an official observation. It wasn't something for like an evaluation. But it was an observation and a learning walk with the intent of saying, hey, here's some trends we're noticing, here's some next steps we're noticing, here's some things we saw that were great, some things we saw that weren't as great. Well, in this particular classroom, the principal had gone through and apparently sent some feedback to the teacher, and the teacher was really upset, as I had said. And I asked, okay, well, yeah, what are you upset about? It seems like you're really frustrated. And she said, well, here's the problem. In the email that I received, there was a few different things that I did well, a few different glows, but there was a huge long list of grows, a huge long list of things that I should be doing better. And I'm actually personally offended by that. I'm personally offended because I do a lot of great things. I do a lot of great things in my classroom, and I work really hard, and I put my heart and soul into this. And I know I'm doing a lot of great things. Of course, I know there's places to grow. Of course, I know there's things I could be doing a little bit better. But the way that it was presented to me just looked like I wasn't doing anything well, and I could be doing everything better. So in that conversation, I've heard that conversation a number of times with different teachers, with different educators, and saying, okay, what's the best way to give feedback? What's the best way to kind of help teachers kind of grow there too? And one of the things I'd like to kind of think about is, what's the intention of an observation? What's the intention of a walkthrough? Is the intent to kind of trick someone and catch someone about not having the things they should have on the board, or not saying the things, and to catch someone and look at those pieces? Or is the intent to help someone think about, hey, here are some things we notice that we like, and here are some possible next steps that'll make you become a better teacher, that'll make you be able to reach your students in a little bit of a different way, a more effective way, thinking about those next steps, because we want everyone to get better. We want the students to get better. We want the teachers to get better. We'd rather not have to hire new teachers and different teachers every year. We want everyone to get better. And again, this particular teacher I'm talking about is a 20-year veteran. She knows her stuff. She knows a lot of great things, but of course there is always room to grow. So as we're thinking about next steps, thinking about how do we offer that feedback, one of the things I would definitely recommend is, let's not offer that feedback, at least for the first time, to be an email. A person-to-person, face-to-face conversation is a much more effective way to have that conversation, saying, hey, here's some great things we saw. And we can see kind of like facial cues, we can see nonverbal cues, we can see some good things, and what might be kind of put into words in an email might be misrepresented or misheard or misspoken. As we're looking at the words, in person is a much better way to look at that too. And as we're thinking about that in-person thing, we got to make sure that we validate everyone's work. We got to make sure that we validate all the hard work. All the teachers are putting really a lot of work into this. And of course, there's always next steps. For everyone, there's next steps. Every single teacher can always get a little better. Every single person can get a little better too. So thinking about, okay, how do we kind of balance that out by saying, hey, here's some great things. Here's some things we saw. Looking at those aspects, or even flipping that role and saying, hey, ask the teacher first. What are things that you kind of did in that lesson? What are things that went well for you? What are some challenges that you have? What are some things that I can help you with to think about your own next steps? And what are the things that you're proud of? And that might be a better way to start a conversation, as opposed to just giving a laundry list of this was good, this was good, this was bad, this was bad. Instead, having the teacher be part of that conversation so we can actually coach. We can actually think what happens next. And again, on that note, thinking about, okay, who is giving the feedback? Is it the official evaluator, or is it someone that maybe can be a coach, someone who is not putting the official evaluation in there if we have that opportunity? But thinking about, what's the purpose of these observations? Is it to catch people? Is it to trip people up? Is it to kind of show that you have the power? Or is it more so to kind of say, hey, here's some things we can possibly do for next steps, and here's some things we can possibly do that might help you out, thinking about that next coaching cycle, and thinking about that next piece we can do. If we can make a collaborative conversation, it can be a whole lot more effective. So if you're a coach thinking about some next steps, if you're a leader thinking about some next steps, thinking about how do I help teachers to get those next steps, think about, let's do some in-person things. Let's validate the work we're putting into it. Yeah, we don't want to just always kind of say everything's looking great, everything's really wonderful. We do want to be honest. We don't want to lie. But think about, okay, how can I phrase that in a way that validates what we've done already, validates all the work we're putting into it, and then thinking about a next step that'll really be effective for everyone. So think about that idea, process that idea, see how it works for you. Let me know how it goes. Have a good one all.